Good afternoon, welcome to Protecting Seas. I'm Nikki, I'm the co-founder of Pingüin, and thank you so much for joining us today. It was a long journey to get this all started. I was sick and then we couldn't, and it was just so much problems, but we finally made it, so thank you.
Great.
I'm talking today to Paulo from Dive Shark. Well, maybe you can introduce yourself better, but it's from Dive Shark. Maybe you can explain a little bit.
Okay. My name is Paulo, but I am also known as Penguin. Actually, everyone call me Penguin. Only my mother call me Paulo, so feel free. Okay. And I am as a professional, I am a scuba diving instructor. As I'm getting old, I'm more than 50 years old, 53 exactly, and I dive since I was like 8, 9 years. That's a long career, a
Wow.
lot of years underwater. And almost in the middle of this way. So when I was about 30 years old, I started to realize that almost everything big underwater that I saw when I was young, I couldn't find it anymore. And then first I started to complain. Then I started to get worried. Then I think, well, as nobody's doing anything, maybe I'm the one who's got to do something about it.
Yeah.
And I guess that happens to almost all of the guys from my age. We started to complain, we started to fight, and now we started to trying to do something forward.
Yeah, that's an amazing thought. It's nice that you started so young and that you saw the changes.
Yeah.
But then you decided to help sharks. Now, why sharks when there's so many animals?
Here in Brazil, uh, people use it to eat turtles, use it to eat whales, and for a change worldwide, now turtles are protected in Brazil. It's a crime to kill a turtle. It's a crime to kill a whale, but it's still legal to kill sharks, to eat sharks, to sell sharks, to even to export the shark fins. What is absurd. I can't stand it. So usually we joke, we make a joke saying that it's easy to talk about saving dolphins because they are cute. It's easy to talk about seahorses because they are so beautiful, but the sharks are still a monster for some persons. And for those who don't think shark is a monster, they think it's meat, it's food. So that's the whole problem. Sharks are not liked by anyone, maybe except the divers, and we are just a few worldwide. So these things have had to change. And one of the animals that I think is most beautiful are the sharks. When I see a plane flying, I'm sure that someone copied the design of a shark swimming. This animal is so beautiful, so hydrodynamic, so evolved, and sharks are here. People don't know much, but sharks exist in our planets before trees. Can you imagine that? The whole earth, there wasn't a single tree, but the sharks was around already swimming underwater.
Yeah.
And they survived it when the dinosaurs died. They survived the glaciation. They survived a lot of extinctions problems, but they are not surviving us,
Yeah.
people,
Yeah, and I
humanity.
think it's sort of a general view of, okay, sharks are always dangerous. And that's mainly, I think, because the few times that we hear the word shark on the news, it's because someone passed away. Now, we know that the reason behind it is always the diver. It's not the shark's fault, it's the diver. The last time a diver died in Egypt, it was because they were literally in its way and the shark had already rolled its eyes back, so you couldn't see it. So it's 9 out of 10 times it's the diver's fault. And it's a big shame because now every time I tell someone I really want to see a shark, they go, "Are you crazy? You will die." They call me crazy and I don't know why. But it's fantastic that you're raising awareness of, no, sharks are normal. They're beautiful. They're supposed to be there. They're very important for the ocean, which we'll talk about a little bit more about later. But they're not dangerous. They're just animals.
Yes, of course. And if you think about any other big predator uh, on the land, for example, lions kill much more people by year than sharks.
Yeah.
Tigers do that. Wolves do that. Dogs do that. Bees kill more people a year than sharks. So that's nature, and animals got in conflict if they invade the other's territory.
Yeah.
And in the underwater, we have a huge difference. Sharks, they usually go away when you get into the environment.
Mm.
They usually don't want to talk, don't want to see, don't want to feel, they don't want to taste humans
Yeah.
because we are not tasteful for them.
No.
Usually, when a shark incident happens, is what you usually call explorer bite.
Yes.
Just as you said, a lot of sharks just roll over their eyes, and they simply don't know what we are.
No.
We are not on the planet as long as the sharks, so they know us. We are very new here, so they don't know. Maybe they look up and say, "Well, what the fuck is that? A little whale, a seal, a turtle. I don't know. But I'm hungry. I'm hungry because there is almost no more fish underwater. I'm hungry and I don't know what's that. What I'm going to do? I'm going to try."
Yeah.
And just like our human babies, when they don't know something and they want to try, they grab it, they put it in their mouth.
Yeah.
Try. That's what the shark do.
Yeah.
And if people who think that sharks are man eaters, just think about it. Have you ever heard of a shark that ate a whole person?
Never.
Took the foot, took the leg, the thigh, the belly, the head, took the whole human. No. But a shark, when get a dolphin, for example, he eats the whole dolphin. That's his food. A shark, when bites a human being, usually what they do is like, ah,
Yeah.
and spit it out.
Yep.
But we are in this world for so little time that we are still fragile. A turtle, for example, usually, if took a shark bite, the turtle survives.
Yep.
A whale, if took a shark bite, the whale survives. But if we take a little bite of a shark, we bleed out and die. That's not the shark fault. That's our evolutionary fault. We are here for so little time,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, we discovered how to destroy the planet, how to dominate all the other animals, except maybe the virus, huh?
Yeah, well, that's the last thing we need to conquer. No, but you're totally right, and there's so much now even going on the markets now with sharks because they're seen as dangerous, but they also want to earn money from it. There's a thing now happening is shark finning. I don't know if you shark fishing and then taking off the fins. I've heard of fin soup.
Yeah.
You hear all these type of things that are going on about sharks, which of course then ruin the ocean because how are sharks related to the ocean? What is their role?
Yeah, the great problem today is actually is not anymore that the shark is a monster. This is almost in the past. People still think the shark is a monster, but it's not this that's killing sharks in a huge amount. That's the fishing boats that in the past a fishing boat fished sharks for the meat. So a boat might fish. Let's imagine 200 sharks. That's a lot, but that's 200. Now they found out that the shark meat internationally usually worth $1.
Wow.
While if they cut just the fins of the shark, the fins usually cost $50 to $200. So the same boat that in the past, let's imagine that they fished 200 sharks and go to land to sell the meat. Now this same boat get the shark inside the boat, cut the fins, throw what they call the rest to the water, and remains fishing until they fill all their space only with fins. So from 200 sharks, the same boat now maybe fish 200,000
Yeah.
sharks
Yeah.
per trip.
Yeah.
And these fins are forbidden in almost all the world.
Yes, that's a
For
good part.
example, in Brazil, fishing just the fins is forbidden in the United States and a lot of countries. But unfortunately, if the shark is not protected, if the species is not protected by an international law, if you take the shark and sell the fish, the fins, it's legal,
Wow.
and it makes a whole loophole
Yeah, of course.
that I fish, let's imagine, 100 sharks, and I have 100,000 fins. And the shark meat that I got there is used to make these fins legal. And then I can export it usually to Hong Kong.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's a huge loophole in the industry, isn't it? They always find ways of doing things they want to do. There's always ways. But do we really need sharks? Do you think? Is the ocean really? Do we really need them?
Yeah. I am vegan. I wasn't. I used to love barbecue, hamburger, etc., etc., etc. But in a time, about 10 years ago, I realized that as a Brazilian, the meat creating cows was causing a huge problem at Amazonia. So I decided to cut the meat. Then I look at the chickens and the other animals, and I decided, well, let's give it a try. Let's see if I can live without it. And actually, I can. So I think we overpopulated this planet. It's not the problem just of what we do, but how much of what we do. If we reduce the population to less than half of the number we have today, maybe we would still cause a lot of impact if we don't change our habits.
Yeah.
So we have to reduce the population. I don't know how, and that's what people are calling the Thanos solution from
Yeah.
the movie. But what we can do is change our habits. So if you still eat fish, you have to imagine any fish, tuna fish, the big fish are gone, so they are going to the medium fish in a few months, in a few years to the small fish, and then to what? I don't know anymore because the oceans probably will be dead. So if we don't change, if we don't reduce, if you can't become a vegan like I did, please just reduce the
Yeah.
ingestion of animal protection, especially from the oceans.
Yeah.
I sure I know that the land got a lot of problems, but who called our planet Earth was a joke or a stupid, because our planet is not Earth. Our planet name should be water.
Yeah.
What keeps the balance of temperature, the balance of carbon dioxide, the balance of everything we think.
Oxygen. Yeah.
Oxygen is the ocean. I'm sorry for those who think that Amazon is important for the ocean. Yes, it is.
It is.
But the most important are the plankton on the water.
Yeah.
So we have to change our minds. We have to change this basic two things. We have to reduce our number. I don't
Yeah.
have kids. I'm also doing my part. But I know that
It's a
I know
solution.
that not everyone can do that. But
Yeah.
those who can do, for example, unfortunately here in Brazil, a problem of the social politics. Poor people usually have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. That's absurd. That's absurd.
Yeah, I
I'm not
agree.
saying that we have to put a finger inside the house of the family of the people, but we have to think about it. We have to change. We have to reduce our number. Somehow, we don't know. Maybe if we find another planet, send half of the people there, and then we have some balance. But we
Perfect.
still haven't found it, right?
Perfect. Can
And
we
we have to
choose who we
change
send?
habits.
Maybe we can choose. You go. You go. Perfect. So much
Yeah,
less drama in the world.
But unfortunately, it's not reachable by now. So what we can do is change our habits.
Yeah,
That's the I guess the most important for everything, for
yeah,
plants, for the thermal condition, the global warming, from for the water, the clear water, the drinkable water, for everything. We have to reduce all unfortunately.
yeah, definitely. And do you think, because you, of course, you've been a diver now for a very long time, you dived from, what you say, 8, 9 years old, which is ridiculous because you started so young. I'm very jealous. So you, of course, I'm assuming you've dived in a lot of places. Do you see also how plastic has been changing, how there's less fish in different places, so other predators cannot eat them? Do you see a big change?
Yes, a lot of change. Uh, in the past, when I was, let's say, about 20 years old, we only saw a few plastic and also metal underwater, some beer cans, some water cans, but just a few and underwater. Now, when we take a boat and navigate, we have to watch out to the boat do not pass over a lot of plastic and damage the engines, the
Yeah.
propellers. That's absurd. That I don't know.
No, it didn't
Why are we
exist.
doing this? Yes,
Mm.
if we didn't use the ocean, if the ocean was just like a tapestry, we don't go there, we don't swim, we don't navigate, we don't eat from it. If we nothing, I could imagine why, not understand and not accept it, but I could imagine why people throw garbage
Yeah,
at it.
yeah,
But
definitely.
when here I live in Rio de Janeiro, Copacabana Beach is famous everywhere.
Of
Here
course,
we Brazilians weekends we go to the beach.
of course.
The poor people go to the beach. The rich people go to their boats. We
Yeah,
use the ocean even for pleasure.
yeah,
We want to go to a beach, a beautiful beach. We don't want to go to an ugly beach. It's not just standing on the sand under the sun. We want to see the beauty of nature. We want to see beautiful beaches.
I
So why
completely
don't
agree.
we go?
I agree,
I
and
can
it's
understand people that go to the beach, drink, smoke, and just throw it on the sand.
no.
The sand will go to the ocean. The
I
same.
know. It's why we clean up the beaches and the ocean every month because it's everywhere. And the beach, if you look from outside, it looks so clean, And then you go on it and you look inside, and there's so much that we pick up. Sometimes 300 kilos, which is big bags full of
Yeah,
plastic, and plastic weighs nothing. So it's so much that we find, and it's why we are trying to educate and try and change the consciousness of I'll just throw it. You can't just throw it. We're trying to change that mentality of no, don't
yeah,
throw it in the bin. Just walk.
yeah. I think maybe for this kind of people, a short way of things is to eat the plastic.
Perfect.
Go to the
I mean, we
beach
do it in the end anyway.
after you drink your water. You eat the bottle because the plastic is going to stop inside of you anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna
If
get
you
there anyway.
if you take amounts of sand in a microscope in a lot of places, there will be a little plastic on the sand. If you take some shells, some little animals from the ocean and inspect the organism, you're going to find plastic inside them. A lot of fishes got plastic already on them, so
Yeah.
we are going to eat the plastic. So why don't we just cut the way, cut the middleman, don't pollute the ocean, and eat the plastic?
Yeah,
Now,
easy as
then
that.
people will understand. Well, I don't need to buy 10 bottles of water because I'm going to eat. I'm going to have to eat 10 bottles. I can't eat only one. So I'm going to buy two, one I eat and the other I reuse. Maybe in a solution like this, people will understand.
I think you should go for presidents because I think that would work perfectly.
That's great. Yeah, but there are better people for that than me. But I think that the problem is the human being. It's like we are creating two minds. We have two brain hemispheres, but brain is completely different from minds.
Yes.
We know that already. But we are creating two minds. One that is what I want, and the other I just blink,
Yeah.
turn it off. So I know that when I throw a bottle on the sand, it's bad. Go to the off part.
Yeah.
We know that. The
Yeah.
most impressive is that we know that. I understand that some people say, no, I don't eat shark. But they eat because on the market they change the names of sharks in a lot of places. It happens here in Brazil. It happens in Spanish. Happens in a lot of places. So people are eating sharks without knowing.
Yeah.
But about the trash, the garbage, we know. We know what we are doing. It's just I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. If I throw this bottle on the sand, it will go to the ocean and it will go to the house of other persons, not mine. It won't come back to me. It will go to other persons. I guess that's it. Maybe the solution is by law, all the bottles you use, you have to eat them. That will be fun also.
Oh, it would be a lot of fun. We have in Holland we have a system, well, and in some more countries, Germany I think has it as well. Well, we have big machines at the supermarkets, and then when you buy your bottle of water, it costs maybe 50 cents. Then you go back and you put it in the machine, and you get your money back.
Yeah,
And we have
that,
this
that,
in Holland.
that's weird, but that's a solution. We
It
have to
works.
pay people to do not throw garbage away.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's not fair. But if it's what works,
it works.
as I cannot obligate people to eat the bottle, maybe I can pay them to put the bottle
Maybe,
over there. Maybe that's a solution.
but
But the
it works.
government has to make it official to everyone. The
Yeah,
law is you cannot throw it away. You have to go there and give it back to the manufacturer.
yeah. And yeah, or maybe glass bottles that you can return. Of course, it's now happening a lot here. We have a lot of companies that work only with glass bottles, so they get refilled because they don't have
Yeah.
to pay for it.
When I was a kid, we didn't have plastic bottles for nothing.
No.
For beer, for water, for soda, for milk, nothing. It was all glasses.
Yeah, and now when
And
I
it is
look in the
everything.
supermarket, I see a glass bottle of
Yeah.
cola. I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. I want one. That's nice.
And work it out.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess, actually, I know what the problem is. For example, here in Brazil, the aluminum cans, the beer cans, people collect on the streets because it's worth money.
yes,
But aluminum cans, they are really so light. One person can carry, I don't know, but let's imagine 1,000 cans because they are so light. They worth like, I don't know the price, but let's imagine 1 penny each can. But you got 1,000. But the glasses, they are heavy and
yeah,
they are big. You can't carry 1,000 glasses.
yeah,
Maybe 100, maybe
yeah,
100. Then
yeah,
you have 1 penny for 100 instead of 1 penny for 1,000. That's why the aluminum actually is not a problem on the garbage because it's worth money and it's easy to carry.
yeah,
The glass worth money, worth a lot of much more money if we think about the garbage,
yeah.
but
And
they are big. But the plastic are not heavy and they
no,
are compressed. So why not obligate this? Yeah,
yeah,
we have
but
to change. We have to change.
plastic is a good invention. When it was made, it was a good idea. It still is. It's cheap. It doesn't weigh anything. It's you can pack things with it. It's a good invention and it's a good idea, but there is too much, and there is
Yeah.
not a responsible use of it. So if people were more responsible, it wouldn't be such a big problem. But now,
Yes.
because it's so worldwide and so much, it's crazy how much there is of plastic only. I think there's a truckload of plastic every day dumped in the ocean, the equivalent. It's not even, you cannot even imagine it, how much there is. And yet there is there. So it is a great idea, and whoever made it was very smart, but
Yeah.
nowadays we need something new, I think.
Sure. And in the beginning, plastic was said as a solution, a savior. Here in Brazil, and I guess that all over the world, the paper, the bags in the supermarkets, they were paper bags. And then when plastic was invented, they said the plastic bags will save the trees from becoming paper bags. Plastic will save the nature because we won't have to cut so many trees,
Yeah.
so much trees to make paper bags.
Yeah.
And what we saw now,
Didn't help.
we try to go back to the paper bags
Yeah.
because the tree you can replant,
Yeah.
right? But the plastic, no.
No,
You
but
see,
it's a shame. But at least people like you are passionate and excited to do this. I can tell you're very
my family
passionate
say I'm
about it.
crazy, not passionate.
Same thing, same thing. But it's fantastic to speak to people like you who do this, and it's a very long distance. Spain and Brazil is very far away, but we have both the same a vision and
Yeah.
the same ideas, which is always nice to share. So I want to thank you for coming and telling me about your story, me and of course everyone who listens and watches. And just keep doing whatever you're doing because it works, and sharks are more and more loved by people,
Yeah.
especially by divers. Um, and as soon as divers stop being stupid and getting in front of sharks, then maybe we will hear it less on the news that people die because of them. So maybe
Yes.
one day we can stop being stupid.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Maybe one day we evolve. But the problem is we have a clock ticking. We don't have that time.
Yeah, you're
That's
very
the great
right.
problem.
You're very right.
My dear, thank you very much for the invitation. I love
Yes.
talk about sharks. Usually when I'm at the waiting on the line at the bakery, if people talk to me, I talk about sharks. If they want to talk about cats, I say, "Oh, I love cats, but do you know sharks?"
Sharks always
Or
best.
try to change the subject, yeah, because they are really lovely creatures.
They are, and
I,
I hope to
I, I
dive with
always
them.
think I always think that mythology should had worked hard on making sharks gods because they are before the trees. That's really amazing.
Yeah,
We should.
definitely.
Unfortunately, we had no more. You in the past there were more than 12 or 14 sharks that were gods,
Wow.
were said gods, but now they are monsters.
Yeah. It's a shame. I hope to
We
dive with
failed
them
at
one day because I have not seen them.
that.
I've only seen one reef shark, and I was very happy with that in Egypt. But I still want to dive. It was a baby, so it was small. But I still want to dive with one and hopefully see one very soon before they disappear.
Ah, you will. You
Hopefully.
will. And they won't disappear. Let's pray for that. Because I usually say, if I think that sharks cannot survive, we cannot save the Amazon rainforest, we cannot save the oceans, I'm going to give up everything, take all my money, buy tequila, drink till I die, and that's okay.
Perfect. It's
Let's
okay.
hope there is another life in another planet, and I go there because
Yeah.
I would just give up. So I know it's important, and I still believe.
I do too. Thank
Yeah.
you for your motivation and thank you for coming and telling us. Thank you so much and keep doing what you're doing because you're doing an amazing job. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. I thank you again for the invitation,
Of course.
and especially I thank you for getting involved because you are still young. I'm getting old, and I feel in a few years more, I won't be able to dive. A few more, I won't be able to walk, and a few more, I won't even remember what is
Wow.
sharks because I will be just already too old for this shit. But you are the future, and I believe in you. For
Thank you.
this, I thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone who listened, who watched.
Yeah,
I
thank
hope
you,
to see
folks, all
you.
over the world.
Thank you. And I hope to see you next week at a new podcast. Every Tuesday, there is a new one. So let's see what happens next week. I've got a little mystery guest who's coming. So we'll see what happens. So thank you.
Great.